Let's talk Humanity 101. Just basic, forget sales training, hence the title, Humanity 101, all right? I live in Florida. I go to Publix, all right? Largest employer. It's a grocery store. Yet anyone you go into, the customer service is top-notch, all right? The people at the register are polite and kind. The people are willing to help. They don't give you the old, the old bird dog look. Hey, go that way. It's over there. They'll walk you. They do it the right way, right? Good, solid customer service. You walk into a car dealership. You go into a furniture store. It's like these guys don't know how to communicate with you. I take my BMW for service at Fields BMW here in town, and I get a great reception in the service department. The guys are top notch. They know what they're talking about. They go out of their way to help, and then I transition into the sales side of the deal, which, let me tell you, is completely weird, right? Because when I was coming up in the business, it was always the other way around. All the personality, friendliness, professionalism was on the front end, and the back end was a bunch of, robotic personalities. And now it's just so weird, man. I get such a great reception in the service department. I go to the sales floor, and you walking through the showroom, and you're looking at a car, and, I'm checking out, the new 6 Series or new 7 Series, and, they look at you and they don't want to make eye contact. It's like they see you there, you're in their territory, they're in their pen, you're in their pen, you're on their home turf, but they're looking off in the distance. They don't want to make eye contact, or you walk by somebody and you got to force them to say hi to you. That's my favorite, where you walk by and a guy, you're walking towards him, you're about 15 feet out and you're closing in. You're closing in on the target and he's coming towards you and you're going towards him. And you make that eye contact and then he shifts away last second and you force him to say hi and saying, hey, how you doing? And he's startled, like he didn't know you were there. Says hi to you. It is ridiculous. Okay? Absolutely ridiculous. As a salesperson that relies on transactional income, you need to interact with your client, and you don't know who the next customer would be. Do you want the person coming in on the TrueCar, offer? Do you want somebody coming in on the internet special, or that loss leader? Or do you want to try to maybe grab somebody out of the service department, that is a passive potential buyer that has your product, is familiar with the product, the culture, especially if you're operating in a highline world? Why would you not want to interact with that customer that has no clue what's going on? Try to take something and make something rather than waiting at the door for somebody. That makes absolutely zero sense to me. I tell this story often, from a salesperson perspective, right? What is a good up look like? What does a good up process look like? How do you greet your customer properly? If you got somebody in the service department, and they're milling around the showroom floor, and you've been watching that front door, and there's been no activity all morning, but it's 9:30, and you've got 2-3 people on the showroom floor. Instead of avoiding them like they're not there, playing that little ghost game, maybe going up to them and saying, hey, how are you? What do you drive? And opening up that conversation because oh, I'm in service. Well, absolutely, I know you're in service. I'm just curious, what are you driving? How do you like it? Create some rapport. Maybe you're not going to shut them down right there, but you add somebody to your pipeline. If you're going to make a lot of deals happen, you got to have a lot of irons in the fire. All right. The best time I was ever upped anywhere. All right. I'm at Nordstrom. This is at Oakbrook Mall in Chicago, right? Had a little time, hanging out at the mall. So I'm just kind of kicking it around, wasn't dressed any particular way, just shorts and a polo, probably my summertime uniform, and just kind of strolling around, killing some time while my wife was shopping. Walked by a couple different salespeople. Can I help you? Can I help you? No, just looking. Okay, great. Let me know if you need any help. Can I help you? No, just looking. And I'm just kind of milling around, looking at the suits. Guy comes up to me, and I turn and I look. He makes eye contact. He looks at me and says, you're a 48 long, right? Completely caught me off guard, because I was getting ready to tell him the same thing. Just looking, right? How many times have you run into that? Just looking, right? Guy's like, you look like a 48 long. I'm like, you know what? You're right. As a matter of fact, I am. He goes, you know what? Who cuts your suits? Where do you get your suits done? So we start talking clothing. He opens me up to talk about things that I like. He's not trying to sell me. He's getting me talking, right? And before you know it, this guy's showing me some stuff. I'm trying on some fabric. I'm looking at some different cuts, looking at some different lapels, some shirt tie combinations. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't one of those stories where I laid down and bought 10 grand worth of suits that day. But I will tell you this, that I remembered the guy's name. I kept his card. And about 90 days later, in a pinch, I needed a black suit because I had ripped my other one. I needed a black suit. And he was the first person I called. and I went and I saw him. And then, of course, after I bought the suit that I needed, then I bought the 3 shirts and the 2-3 ties to go with it to really dress it up. That is how a salesperson operates. If you are a true professional salesperson, it's not about that one transaction you make today. It's about creating that pipeline and keeping it full and getting that business and keeping in touch, staying top of mind. You know, you look at all these companies out there spending all this money on advertising. Sure, it's transactional, but a lot of it is top of mind, staying top of mind, so that when you are ready to do something, you think of them. So don't be that one and done. Make this a career and stay on top of what you're doing. All right? Sell like hell. We'll see you later.